So in this episode for Time for Emerging Markets, Doers within Emerging Markets, I'm going to share with you guys um, a final presentation of my journey of how I started my entrepreneurial endeavor, specifically trying to study emerging markets. And just a brief summary, this was in my last year of my MBA program at Babson College, wherein I had a um, very good conversation with one of the professors and a role model to me, Dr. Phillip Kim, and we discussed on how emerging market is where a lot of things is going to happen in terms of innovation, in terms of just a rise in activities surrounding entrepreneurship as well as investment, with a primary focus on Africa. And as a result of that, I traveled to Peru, Thailand, Taiwan, and and South Korea as well, just to learn about entrepreneurs that were making a difference on this continent, but also the history, as well as the culture, and how all of that accumulated led to the development of how these countries have been, you know, where they are right now, and how they came to be what they are right now, specifically a country like South Korea. So something that was really intriguing was just the people I met on this journey, and some of them are already mentioned in the earlier episodes of this podcast. Someone like Martin Benavist, Martin Bedoya Benavist, that started this really amazing company called Edifica, and I actually wrote a book about that. It's a photograph that accumulated from just seeing all the different companies that he started within Edifica grew, and just how he was he's one of the most creative people I've met, and just a very brilliant mind, and the way he thinks of being an entrepreneur and how to respect your employees and all that comes with just how he's tenacious, but also very um, you know as well as very good visionary on how entrepreneurs have to think about building ecosystems, not just building a singular companies, but building ecosystems, especially in emerging markets. So this started this trip happened in January of 2019. And in March of that year, I went to Taiwan and South Korea. So in Taiwan, I was able to meet Tai-Ku Chen, who is a Babson alum in class of 2010, MBA class of 2010. And he's he was very welcoming, very receptive to my visit in Taipei, Taiwan. And in my conversation with him, I learned a lot about just the dynamics of Taiwan in that ecosystem with China and all those parties, and how the Taiwanese economy is thriving, and how the entrepreneurs in that ecosystem are finding ways to build companies that are transforming the landscape over there. So it was very exciting, and it was just a lot to learn from Tai-Ku Chen. That it was something that was worth the time to even go over to Taipei, Taiwan, and just to learn from on the ground what it means to build a successful company. I also spent some time in South Korea. That was before I went to Taipei, Taiwan. And in South Korea, I was able to meet people like Zahin, who is also one of my guests in one of the episodes that I have in the podcast. And Zahin emulates someone who, just can find opportunities and, take advantage of them, and also provide platforms where people can be entrepreneurial in their own way. So that was it was really humbling to meet people like Zahin, and to meet people that actually see opportunities in countries like South Korea, and how to invite other people to be a part of that entrepreneurial journey. South Korea, is very developed technologically, and it has taken a long journey from where they had been, in the 60s and even earlier on to being the fifth largest economy in the world. And at the same time, there was so much exposed to. I was able to meet some social entrepreneurs that were building some really, really great companies that, at the end of the day, you can tell there is a movement going on, and there's a shift of the interest of social entrepreneurs, and building more inclusive companies, which was really paramount in South Korea. And I will just end with, something that I realized, and I've traveled to other countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and this was in the summer of 2019. But something that I realized was that there's this hunger for people to make a difference in these emerging markets, and it's not just an initiative of, inspiring people, but it's also like this flow of capital from NGOs as well as government for people to actually build things that will help local communities, to thrive. And I think it's important that the time is for us to recognize this time, this time for emerging markets, especially with some focus in countries like Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, Vietnam, and how we can be a part of this movement. And that gives me the reason why I'm excited about some of the projects I'm building, especially at Jamani, where we providing a platform for entrepreneurs to have access to world-class consulting, funding, but also a community of people where they'll be able to share ideas, able to meet experts who have done or can help guide them to build world-class companies. In addition to that, some of the other projects that I've been excited about and also engaged in is building a platform like the Pre-Entrepreneurship School, which is a platform where we provide tools, resources, and a framework for aspiring entrepreneurs to build, to learn about themselves, but also to build successful companies. So that is where the journey started in March 2019, where I actually took that initiative, took that action to go out of the United States to meet people where they are in countries that have some really exciting, inspiring entrepreneurs. And hopefully, in this journey with building the podcast as well as building the Pre-Entrepreneurship School, and also Jamani Corporate Group, I hope that I can, you feel invited, you feel engaged, and, we can build this together, because I think it's not just a 1 month show. This is something that I welcome people of every, background, culture, race, for us to build the future of emerging markets. And if you feel that this is something that you can be a part of, you can check out my website, jamanicorp.com, where I actually have all the platforms that I'm working on. You can also subscribe to this podcast. It's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify, it's also on Anchor, which is the main platform. I also post videos on YouTube and episodes like this. But you can if you just want to chat, you can always feel free to reach out to me at jacobfortum.net. That is my main page, and I'll be happy to chat with you and share ideas and get engaged and get involved. So thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I hope that you have the chance to listen to all the previous episodes, and also subscribe or follow this channel so you can listen to some really exciting guests I'm having coming up in the future. So thank you for your support. Thanks for being engaged in the episodes. Thanks for everything that you listeners are doing to make this channel, this podcast, more exciting and more fun for me as well as for you, and I hope you learned something out of it. So I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Please don't forget to subscribe or follow or click the bell icon if you're on YouTube to listen to more of our exciting content that's coming your way. Thank you so much, and hope you guys have a wonderful day.